The UCS Regional League is back in action starting this weekend, and things are heating up in every region across the globe. I'm Vaelor, bringing you closer to the action today in an exclusive interview with Nyhaat, in-game team leader for Los Caducados. Nyhaat, thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for the invite. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Los Caducados is currently sitting at 3-3 in the EU region. Y'all are fourth in the standings, and you're coming off of a really exciting time at EUIC. UIC is one of the premier events in the UCS. You've all finished in the bracket stage, made it through groups into brackets. You ended up losing to the eventual third place finishers in 2Z. So let's start with EUIC. Talk to me about what that atmosphere was like being in person and experiencing a tournament of that stage.
I've been there last year. I've made it the same. Like we made it to top 12 there as well. But I think this year was a bit different as the vibes were way more like a team actually, and we had so much fun together. We did so much as a team outside of just the tournament as well. And playing on stage was just a nice experience again, and I love it. All the boys love it, and yeah, it was just great.
So obviously a little bit different from how you all normally do, the regional league action where it's offline. What's the preparation like in an in-person tournament to that at that stage in terms of keeping your head in the game and being prepared to go up on stage and play?
I think offline events make it is always a bit more. Everyone is a bit more locked in. Everyone likes it more because this is like you're on stage in front of an audience. It's the preparation is similar, but as soon as you're on stage and you just sit down in your chairs, everyone gets way more locked in. The games are way more fun then.
So uh, what's sort of like a pregame ritual or pregame routine that you have in order to kind of lock in your focus? Is there anything special that you do each time before you go and play?
Me personally, what I always do, what I also did in our on-stage games, is when you walk backstage, you have to wait for one game to finish. So you have like around 15 to 20 minutes backstage where you just kind of sit down and you just chill and do nothing. That's what I also do for offline events. I just turn off everything and I just meditate for like 2 to 5 minutes to just be like to lock in and calm down, not be nervous.
It's awesome. Awesome. So one of the key storylines in the tournament for me, as I was kind of looking at the group stage and everything that was kind of lining up, was seeing that you all were in the group stage table with Los MTZ. And obviously, big storyline going into the regional play, like the day before regional play started, they kind of cut contracts and you all went back to the team named Los Caducados. Talk to me about what it was like seeing the group presented and knowing that you had an opportunity to go against this organization that you had some ties and affiliations with just a short time ago.
It was kind of funny because we saw the groups and we were like, it's kind of funny because our group was meant to be the easiest one, and everyone said we have the easiest group, which I don't disagree on. Our group was not that hard, but especially the matchup against MTZ was something we looked forward to the most, simply because of our disagreements we had and with the organization. But the guys they're all nice people, and the organization is also cool. But it was a very fun matchup against them.
I can imagine just having an opportunity to show out a little bit in that group was
Yeah.
really fun to watch, just from an outside perspective. And I also enjoyed the Twitter discourse that went back and forth as the schedules were announced and everything. Seeing you all post the gifs on any of their posts was really
Yeah.
fun. I enjoyed that for sure. So let's talk about the regional league. Obviously, like I mentioned, action's heating up. You all are currently 3-3, in great position heading into the second half of the season. You're fourth in a really tight region. There's a lot of really great organizations in EU. Last week, the last weekend of action, obviously not last weekend, but the last weekend of action, you and Los Caracadas had a really thrilling matchup against Komai. Went down to a game three. Obviously things didn't pan out the way we wanted them to, but what were comms like going into game three? I think, just kind of placing yourself back in that situation. You all are tied 1-1. The next game's going to kind of decide the set. What are the comms like in that situation?
When it comes before game three, we're kinda good. We played really good in game one. Game two was very close. We should have closed it out in game two, but we didn't. And then before we went into game three, it was kinda chill. We didn't really. It was nothing crazy to be honest. It was more chill. After the game, it was a bit frustrating, of course, but because it was a very close match. But we should have just closed it out in game two, but unfortunately we couldn't.
Well, so given your position, as a team leader, you're kind of the most experienced, in the bunch. You kind of have a position of authority coming into that final game. Is there anything special that you said or anything to kind of calm nerves going into that game three?
To be honest, it's more like it doesn't really matter if we win or lose because we play them again anyways.
Hmm.
And only because we lose one game, this doesn't decide our whole season. That's the cool thing about the regional league is that even if you lose a set, it doesn't really define your season. Just like back then when you had the monthly qualifiers where when you had lost twice and you were lost in loser bracket, you were kind of out of the tournament and you don't have championship points and stuff like that. With the regional league, this is not really it. So it's every time. Doesn't matter if we lose, just focus on the game. That's pretty much it.
Love that perspective. And so, with that in mind, obviously coming up into week three of action, what are you most looking forward to coming up with the three games you have this coming weekend?
100% the rematch against Komai because we played against them. There was such close games. I really thought we can win, which hopefully we can this weekend, and we all believe we can. But also our match against BH3, as we're the only team that didn't play them yet in the regional league. We're kind of looking to take them down to hopefully be the kind of second EU team to take them down after Volticons, but the first in the regional league. And also our match against Avalanche is, of course, they are kind of bottom of the table. They're not the best team in the league, but we're still trying to get some clean games there.
Absolutely. And I mean, coming out of EUIC, you all have some of that momentum. You're feeling that kind of going in and being able to face off against one and two in the EU regions, a big deal. You can position yourself very well heading into the second half of the season. So I'd love to know a little bit more about the team. I think it's always good to be able to kind of get to know some of the players a little bit more. Obviously with your experience and kind of knowing the team like you do. Just had a couple of questions. Is there anybody on the team that you would say is like the most emotional or most susceptible to kind of popping off in a big moment?
I think when it comes to that, it's definitely Jose because I don't know. He's very. I feel like everyone is very. How do you say that? He really wants to go to Worlds. He really wants to have a great showing, and he gets emotional, not in a bad way, but like, especially when we play really well, and if we beat a good team, like on stage as well. When we lost to Tazi, he was kind of emotional, which happens. It is what it is. Also, when we won against Engage, but also Bertilo is someone, especially when we pop off, it's always a nice feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So who would you classify as like the funniest member of the team?
I mean, the funniest is, I kind of might have to say Relly, but he's funny brain rot because he has so much brain rot because he's so young. He's 17, so there's so much brain rot. It's definitely Relly, 100%.
Obviously, going to a big tournament like EUIC, you probably had, like you mentioned, a lot of time together as a team. Is there anybody that you would just definitely not want to be roommates with after leaving that tournament?
Oh, 100% Bertilo. I'm not gonna say why, but 100% Bertilo. My teammates know why.
Cool. Let's talk about the game in general. There's obviously a lot of discourse going on about Pokemon Unite. We obviously love the game. We have a passion for it. So I just want to talk a little bit about game philosophy. I took a look at some of the trends of Pokemon you like to play. Your top two picks, at least in Regional League, are Psyduck and Hoopa. And so I just wanted to kind of talk to you about sort of the mentality as you're going into a draft. You're seeing kind of picks come in. What makes the decision for you in terms of which mon you're going to go or which comp you're going to try to bring as you're going into a matchup. Obviously, both have unique play styles. There's different things you can do with both of those mons. Talk to me through some of the mentalities you go in.
I think for myself, what's a bit different to most like support players in comparison to someone like Sazuro, who usually just like thrives to be like healing, more of a healing support and actually play like those healers, which is also good. I kind of tend to just like flex because I used to play everything already, so I kind of can play whatever is needed. I just like to play like Psyduck, Hoopa the most, simply because they have like playmaking abilities, which kind of are really nice to have. And I think I tend to play better when I have like a character like that, where I can make my team make plays, and especially with the Hoopa Unbound or the Psyduck Psychic Pull, stuff like that. Just like characters that I can actually do stuff on and not just like heal my teammates. I like kind of like more.
You can be a little bit in the action and not just stepping back and
Yeah.
healing. I like that. Who's on your must ban list every time going into a matchup?
Charizard Y, of course. But personally, I also have to say I hate Umbreon. I hate to play it. I hate to play with it. I hate to play against it. I hate Umbreon.
Is there any particular reason?
Playing with it is because we just can't play with it. Robbie is not the best on it. He's better on other tanks. I personally don't like playing it simply because when I play mean look and I press mean look, I'm like, guys, look here, I mean look someone, and my team is just not here to help me, and I'm just okay. I guess sure we just lose. And playing against it is the enemies always do that. The enemies press me look and just insta kill someone. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Just looking at the current meta in competitive, just from your perspective, I love being able to talk to players like this. Who is in desperate need of a buff right now?
desperate need of a buff. I kind of think everything is kind of playable, but I think all rounders in general need like a slight nerf, and attackers need a slight buff. With the map changes, attackers tend to be really bad on Kyogre map and really good on Groudon map. But I kind of wish they would bring like some sort of passive for all the roles, which so like all-rounders have their passive, speedsters have their passive, and like change that a bit to make attackers a bit more strong and all-rounders a bit worse because all-rounders are kind of dominating the game. And also for tanks all need a nerf. Every single tank needs a nerf. It just broke me as fuck. So yeah,
Especially with Vanguard Bell, right? Like that's just the new meta. Everybody's running the Bell.
actually, I'm a Bell hater. I don't think
Are
the
you?
item is that good. I am.
Excellent.
It looks it looks really good on paper, but I don't think it's that good.
I'm interested to see how it pans out going into the competition. Um, okay, this happens a lot in NA. I haven't seen it a ton in EU, but what's your opinion? Is it based or is it cringe for a double invade strat?
I think it's based like, especially if there's a team that has like an Urshifu in their jungle, just go double invade him. Like, don't let him play the game. I love it. I love invading. Just invade him. It's
I love
based.
that. I love it. Fantastic. Last question. Just I want to again say thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me. What's something that you would love for more of the Pokemon Unite community to know about you or Los Caducados as a team?
Uh, what's that? We might be the most chaotic team in EU. I think everyone understands that. In comparison to all the teams that are above us, they are very structured. They have coaches, they have analysts, they have managers, they have social media managers, they have all of that. We're kind of just like we're just five people and we have a sub, but that's kind of it. That we're just vibing. We're kind of based on vibes.
I love that. I love that. You all are a ton of fun to watch. And like I said, thank you so much for just taking a little bit of opportunity to talk to me. Week 3 of UCS action in the Regional League in EU, NA, and LATAM takes place this coming weekend. Nyhaat, thank you so much. I really just appreciate the time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Absolutely.